It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes. We need to do more.
We are the outlaws.
After a collision, great competition, great entertainment. What we want more?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the beautiful waters of Kuwait. This is the second round of the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship. I am Stuart Borro, and I will be talking you through the action from what is the very first pole position qualifying here in Kuwait. It has been an extraordinary few days up to this stage as we have been preparing for an absolute delight, a banquet of XCAT action here off the bay in Salmiya, about 20 minutes down the road from Kuwait City. We have a green flag here for pole position qualifying. So we have got a half-hour session today, which is a complete and total shootout. The XCAT crews cannot come back to the pontoon. They cannot change their propeller choices. They cannot fuel up. They have to spend their time in the milling area if they want. The conditions are, as you would imagine in this part of the world, nice and warm at 27 degrees. Warmer down there by the water, but the water itself has been choppy over the last few days. Definitely in the morning as the wind picks up, but we are hoping this afternoon that the weather will be slightly more favourable for our XCAT crews as they head out there. Just a reminder that we had testing and practice earlier today where we had the team heading into this round leading the championship. Victory, boat number 7, with the quickest time in these crews. Now we are meant to have 10 XCATs out there on the water, but unfortunately during practice yesterday, Team GB took an unfortunate tumble and it doesn't look like they are going to make it out for this qualifying pole position session. However, we will hopefully see them later on across the competition, bearing in mind that Team GB go into this in second position overall for the championship. There we see Enerjima, boat number 55. They are in a rather striking new livery, and they have taken delivery of a alternative XCAT compared to when we saw them in Fujairah. Erik Sundblad Johansson and Marit Stromae out there looking to put in a strong performance in qualifying. Those two Mercury ROS outboard engines, 400 horsepower apiece, looking to propel them up the standings. But Victory, boat number 7, already looking like they want to get some early timings in. Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali coming into this second round top of the table, but only by 9 points from Team GB. They had a great run out in Fujairah, winning the second race. They are looking around that back corner. The water starting to look a little bit choppy as we head out towards what is the final straight. This is the part of the course, the trickiest part of the circuit, because you've got the wind coming in from the Gulf right in your bow while the waves are coming in across your starboard side. But they are looking to get up to 90, maybe 100 kilometers an hour here, possibly even more, but you can see it's really testing the crews there. Isa Al-Adi just trying to keep the course. Salim Al-Adidi ditto, and they've just come across the timing boys, so we'll start to see the timings come through as they start to complete laps, but that's a good precursor for what's to come. Swekat now, Sebastian Groth and Mikael Benson. Seen them walking around the pits and the paddock looking quietly confident, in fact. So they'll head out here, see what the conditions are like. We had a good practice session earlier today, really, really good practice session. Lots of time allowed to really get to grips with the conditions here in Q8. So we're being kindly hosted in Q8 for the very first time. And that means that for the crews, for many of them, this is the first time out and exploring what it means to powerboat, an offshore powerboat here in Kuwait. Seba and Mikael there. I've got to say, Swekat, after coming so close to being champions last year, they started a little sluggishly in Fujairah, but here they seem to have that XCAT purring. It's really looked like the Swekat boat number 2 of old. And they're currently in 7th position overall with 22 points. They'll be looking to leave here with a much greater haul than that. But you can just see there as they come round into that home straight just how aggressive the waters are, and they won't even be pushing yet. They'll be starting to throttle down a little bit now as they head towards the timing buoy, looking to set a strong qualifying lap. We don't have long here for the teams to put their best foot forward, and Swekat will be looking to grab the best position possible ahead of this afternoon's first Grand Prix ever from Q8, here just off the beautiful promenade of Salmiya, where we have been graciously hosted by the people here. It's been wonderful, in fact. As always, I have partaken in the local delicacies and eaten far too much. But we have our first timings of the day with boat number 7 of Victory Team posting a 2:32 and 300ths of a second as we're on board here with boat number 55, Enelajima Racing. Erik Sundblad Johansson, Marit Stromoy, very experienced crew, and they'll be looking to put that experience to pay here. Marit, who has been all over the world this year, racing all sorts of different craft, but back to XCAT once again. I hear she has a Christmas single coming out soon, so that's exciting. But right now, let's see if Enelajima Racing can deliver a pole position present. Just the wind getting underneath them there as they push and push towards the timing buoy. They're getting an awful lot of air. They're heading into the wind, although the wind has died down compared to this morning. Every time you step out onto the promenade, it is very, very windy. So it really captures quite a lot of the conditions here. And a 2:39.584 there for boat number 55, Enelajima. And they'll be happy with that. That will keep them with something to aim for. Some distance off of Victory Team. We also have the defending champions of boat number 96, HPI Fujairah Racing Team. They took some interesting lines during testing this morning, just experimenting what, where and how was going to be the best for their dug right hull. And it's left them in second position as it stands now with a 2:35 and 900th of a second. So not a million miles away from victory. As SWECAT posts their first time, a 2:32 and 994 seconds. That puts them just 0.006 of a second behind Victory Team. The choppy waters obviously lending themselves well to the Scandinavian duo in SWECAT. But we're on board now with Sharjah, boat number 9. Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Torrenti in there, just back in an XCAT and looking to replicate some of their performance from Fujairah, where they were race winners in the first race of the championship, really putting down a marker as Victory Team continue to place down timings, and their time starts now. We are 10 minutes into this 30 minutes qualifying session, the first ever here in Kuwait. I know the crowds here are looking for boat number 17, which is Team Kuwait, Rahib, Abdulatif Alamani in there. We had a chat with him earlier. Make sure that you do follow the XCAT social media pages to watch that interview later on in the week. Always a pleasure catching up with the crews. But here are two taking it very, very seriously, of Isa Al Ali and they will be looking to maybe shave off some of their 2:32. Enelajima really using this time to put a marker down. Erik Sundblad Johansson, who of course was in the SWECAT boat last year as they pushed so close. They were so close to that title. But a renewed vigour and energy in 55, especially with the experience of Marit Stromoy in there as well. Just so good at powerboating. A bit slow around there, but that old adage in racing, if it looks slow, it's probably quick. You can see there quite the rooster tail coming out from the rear. They're really pushing to break through the crest of those waves. The swell is really strong at the back there. Really battering these XCATs around. But keeping the XCAT true there. Really hard just to keep the craft level. Really, you just want it nice and smooth. There are some crews that really love the rough. This might be one of them. You can just see that's where the dangers of tipping come in. It's when you hit the crest of a wave, the bow starts to head up above the screen of your cockpit, gets caught by the wind, and because of the pace, you just end up going head over heels, something we saw Team GB unfortunately do yesterday. Boat number 55 of Energima now heading towards the timing line, as we have a new fastest XCAT out there on the Q80 water today, as Sharjah post a 2:32 and 200ths of a second with 76 just to pop in there. That puts them just ahead of boat number 7, Victory, who are sat on 2:32.3. Swecat in third, 2:32.9. Boat number 96 of HPI Fujairah Racing Team, 2:35.9. And boat number 55, that boat there, in fifth currently on a 2:38. So they are getting quicker as we head and slice through this water here off the coast of Salamiya. Absolutely flying, and there you can see just the pace and the technical aspect of this course. We've shortened it slightly just due to the weather. You can see the Q80 towers just on the left hand side of your screen there, an emblem of the region, the city and the country indeed itself. Sharjah looking like they are coming off the pace ever so slightly there. They are our pole sitters provisionally as it stands. We've got 15 minutes left of this inaugural qualifying session here in Kuwait, the UIM XCAT World Championship arriving for the very first time, and what a welcome I must say we have all received. Yeah, they've come right off the pace there. And they are just starting to fill themselves out. We are halfway through qualifying here, as Faz Marine doing well. They've posted a 2:32.6. That is a fantastically astonishing time from Faz Marine. A wonderful, wonderful qualifying time. Puts them in fourth overall, but only just. They're 300ths of a second off of third, which is Victory. Swecat in second with a 2:32.2. And Sharjah now 2:32.7. Swecat are 10/100ths of a second off of pole. There is less than 600ths of a second separating first through to fourth, as Faz Marine of Arif Al Safain and Francis Nocella are pushing ever harder, ever closer to break into that top three first of all, and then even push for pole. This is a fantastic performance from Francis and Arif in that boat number 3, Faz Marine. There's a lot of promise in that boat and in that crew, and it's lovely to see that starting to come together as they just flirt with the bounce there, just trying to find a way that keeps that XCAT level. Throttle down into the corner. You can see the bow just dip into the wave, pick the friction up, slow it down as they look to accelerate out the corner. Boat number 3 can turn on a sixpence. There you can just see how aggressive it is out there. Having to do everything and anything to find a competitive advantage. Arif Al-Safain and Francis Nocella, very experienced crews in their own right, as they look to just shave milliseconds off of their time. And they're looking for a wide line here. They don't want to drop the pace, so they've come just as close into the shore as they dare, keeping it pinned as they look to carry maximum speed into their timed lap. And maximum speed into their lap they found. Faz Marine are the fastest boat on the water. .232 and 1/100th of a second. Pushing Sharjah into second with a 2:32.27, so just 1/100th of a second separating them there. Swekat in third, 2:32 and 2/208. They are just 10/100ths of a second off of second. Victory Team, boat number 7, in fourth, our championship leaders. HPI Fujairah Racing Team, boat number 96, 235. And Enerjima, boat number 55, in 6th. As there we see boat number 17, Kuwait, Team Rahib, the local team, running 2 Mercury ROS 300 engines as part of our step towards innovation and environmental consciousness. They've just had a bit of a drama as they left the jetty. There's the pontoon. They were good to go, and now they've been called back in. Interesting propeller choice from them. Propellers having such a huge part of what works here. But there is victory. Just looking, you can see there just the XCAT fighting back. Heading towards the middle portion of this course. Nice cornering, nice and smooth. You expect nothing less from such an experienced crew. Isa Al-Ali, Salim Al-Adidi, they know a thing or two. Champions, of course, in years gone by. But there you can just see they're pushing so hard to move the dial from 4th to 3rd. It's just 1/100th of a second that they need to find somewhere. It doesn't sound a lot, but at this stage it is extraordinary levels. And here we are in the home straight. Now, all the XCAT crews have been looking for the optimum line down the home straight here. Not an easy thing to do, because water by its nature shifts, it changes. It questions how good we are and what we know. It's not like a racetrack where the tarmac stays pretty much where it is. Here, the circuit is constantly, literally moving and crashing into the shoreline. And they are about to head over the timing line. And they do it. They push Fazza from 1st to 2nd. A 2:31 and 7/100ths of a second. They looked like they were pushing. They looked like they were trying to find that perfect line. And it looks like they've found it. They are now in the lead of this qualifying session. Victory Team, boat number 7 in first. Faz Marine in second. Boat number 3, Sharjah. Boat number 9 in third. Swekat in fourth. Absolutely nothing between those two. 0.1 of a second. Swekat in fourth. Boat number 96, who we're on board with now. Fujairah Racing Team, HPI Fujairah Racing Team. Brothers Rosario Scala di Colla, Giuseppe, together in there. Defending champions from 2024. It was a hard-fought victory. They are in 5th overall at the moment. They need to find some pace from somewhere. With boat number 55 of Energima Racing in 6th. They are desperately trying to get the local team out, but there was a bit of a commotion as they left the jetty. It looks like some of their ropes might have been caught up in a propeller there, but they're desperately trying to get boat number 17 out in the final 7 minutes of this pole position qualifying, the first from Kuwait. Makes perfect sense for the championship to arrive here, to be honest with you. Kuwait has a long history with the ocean. It's got that rarity of the climate, the desert, heading straight down to the shoreline. They've fished here for millennia. They've fished for pearls. And then, of course, it was that other most precious of commodities that has, in many ways, helped fuel the development of Kuwait. But these people have been making sailing and being seafaring people for hundreds of years, and so it is perfectly befitting for the UIM XCAT World Championship to be here in Kuwait. It's been a long time coming, and I am glad to be here as we watch HPI Fujairah Racing Team desperately trying to get themselves ahead. And whilst that's been going on, Faz Marine have usurped Victory Team boat number 7 once again with a 2:31 practically dead. 0.07 of a second shaved off of Victory. Arif Al-Sufyan and Francis Nocella should be very, very happy with that. They're coming back to the pontoon now. They are convinced they have nothing left to give with 5 minutes remaining of this first pole position qualifying session of the Kuwaiti Grand Prix. Will they be our pole position XCAT when the first Grand Prix rolls around later on today? Well, Victory will have something to say about that as they fire through the timing beacon, looking to get, well, it's got to be anything sub 2:31 at this point in reality. That is a tall order, but if anyone can do it, it is Victoria. Victory. Let's go. So just a reminder, Faz Marine in first, Victory Team boat number 7 in second, Sharjah boat number 9 in third, Swekat in second to 6th. So 4th position for your mathematicians out there. HPI Fujairah Racing Team in 5th, Energima Racing in 6th. And the boats that haven't managed to get out there, the XCATs that haven't managed to hit the water, they will then make up the remaining last few positions. That's Team GB, Kuwait, boat number 17, and a new entrant, Mate USA, as well. They are also missing from the lineup as they have been studiously trying to get themselves ready to go. Victory here, chasing down that pole position. It is really tough, and it's just got tougher as Swekat come across the timing line and bump Victory to 3rd. Swekat now with a 2:31 and 100th of a second. marginally behind Faz Marine. Swecker agonisingly close to pole position. Second will have to do for now. We've got 3 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. Barely long enough for maybe one more lap. Victory down the home stretch here. They're on a 2:11 at the moment. They're looking hot. Nothing to yawn about. This is exciting stuff. Victory have found a good line, although that's both propellers out of the water at the end there. We are hitting the timing boys in 3, 2, 1. They will not better their 2:31 and 700th of a second time. As you can see there, they are cemented in third. It's still a great position to be in, arguably. And the problem is we've never raced here before, so we don't know what the best positions are going to be to take full advantage of qualifying. Sharjah in fourth, 2:32 and 200th. Sean Torrenti and Mikhail Kitashev together once again. They know that they have a winning hull underneath them. They've proved that already. Sean, who's made the journey here from the US of A. I believe he is a Floridian and is now here in Kuwait. He's been racing all over the world this year. One of the superstars of powerboating. And he's here at XCAT with his own racing team, also having great success over the last 6 months. He will want to add yet more silverware to his trophy cabinet, not just from elsewhere, but add to his XCAT win from earlier this year. That line getting closer and closer to the shore. And people have realised that that is where to be. It's a competitive time potentially. And it is a pole position type of time. 2:39 and 196 hundredths of a second. As Sean and Mikhail jump ahead of Faz Marine by nearly a second into first position. Faz Marine in second now. Still a fantastic result if this is how it finishes, which I suspect it will, as Faz Marine are now well away from the pontoon and out of the XCAT. But we do still have some XCATs out there looking to better their time. We've had the checkered flag. Timing is over. It's Sharjah at the moment, Faz Marine and Swecker in third. Victory team unable to better the lap, but they're going to try regardless. But as it stands, Sharjah in pole, Faz Marine in second. A wonderful performance from them. Swecker in third, equally excellent performance. Victory team Kuwait have managed to get out boat number 17 and post a 2:38. This is encouraging. Very good indeed from the local outfit, because it means that they will undoubtedly now start in 7th, which is exactly what you want. Abdul Latif Alamani and Khalid Ali out there giving it the big ones. And you can see there just arguing with the water. Abdulatif knowing an awful lot about Kuwaiti water. He lives about 2 kilometres from the city centre, so he knows a thing or two. Had a wonderful catch up with him earlier today. Something you can see on the highlights programme and our behind the scenes footage. Make sure you do follow the official UIM XCAT World Championship social media pages to keep up with everything going on from this race week. So as it stands, Sharjah are in pole, Faz Marine in second. They looked good in testing. They led testing and official practice, and I know Francis and Arif will be incredibly proud of that performance, and so they should be. Swekat in third, a wonderful performance there from Seb and Mikhail. Victory team in fourth. They kept pushing and biting and clawing their way. They couldn't get themselves any higher than fourth. Defending champions, boat number 96, Fujairah Racing Team in fifth, Enedajima in sixth, and then Kuwait, who have managed to hit the water here, boat number 17, Rahib Racing, looking to better their 238, and I'm sure they will. Nice little trio of XCATs there. The two behind coming in to finish up. Let's just see if Kuwait better that time. And no, they don't. What an exciting pole position qualifying we have had here in Kuwait for the very first time. And it has been exactly what we wanted. Boat number 9, Sharjah in first, Faz Marine in second, Swekat in third. Boat number 7, a Victory Team in fourth. They've got more to give, I'm sure. Boat number 96, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in fifth. Enedajima Racing in sixth. A good performance from them. And Kuwait in seventh. So the final 3 places will be made up by the teams that couldn't quite make it to the water. But they will see just what it means later on this afternoon as race 1 is penciled in for 15:30 local time as Sharjah come into the pontoon as pole sitters. They now have to go through the scrutineering, some checks, just make sure everything's above board, which I'm sure it is. And they will be welcomed by the team. Quite the thing. So, pole position qualifying, did it kick up some surprises for you? We'd love to know. Tell us in the comments. But from me, that is all we have for this first pole position qualifying session here in Kuwait off the coast of Salamiyah. And I'll see you for race number 1, the first Grand Prix here for the UIM XCAT World Championship in Kuwait.